I spent a long time trying and failing to transform my body before I started to succeed. For years, I was what some people call skinny fat. I didn't really have very much muscle on my frame, but I also wasn't very lean. I looked average in clothes, and my body mass index was average, but I was soft and undefined. Now look, there's nothing wrong with being skinny fat. If you are happy with your body and you feel comfortable, and that's where you are, great. Don't let anyone ever destroy that feeling. All bodies deserve respect, whether you're skinny skinny, skinny fat, or fat fat. But if you aren't happy with your body and you're trying to change it in some way and you work for years and you're not seeing any results, that gets really frustrating and disheartening. For years I tried in vain to change my body and I didn't get anywhere. A lot of people are like me and they get frustrated being stuck in skinny fat jail, not getting out. And this is all because of a seesaw effect. Let me explain. So let's say you're somewhere down here. Not very much muscle, but yet not lean. Small and soft. You want to get up to here. Lots of muscle and lean enough to show it off. In order to do that, you need to both gain muscle and lose fat. But most people will say you can't do both at once. So you pick one. You choose to lose fat, to cut. But you want to be big, and you're getting smaller. You're already self-conscious about your skinny arms, and now they're getting skinnier. Your goal of being big seems further away than ever. So you stop cutting well before you've achieved lean status, and decide to bulk up instead. You gain some muscle, but a decent amount of fat comes along with it. And because we live in a fat-phobic society, and you're already kind of soft, you freak out, stop your bulk, and cut again. And you bounce back and forth between these points. Never ever breaking out. And that is skinny fat jail. So for years that was me, cutting and losing a little bit of fat, and then bulking and gaining all the fat back, but never making any sort of permanent increase in muscle tissue, just moving around this area. And towards my late 20s, I used to get really self-conscious. People would ask me, how long have you been lifting? And the answer would be 4, 5, 6 years. And I knew I didn't look like that. I didn't have anything to show for it.
Hey, Mikey, hey. So, what did you do about it?
Good question, Meeple. So, I had a wake-up call. I'd got a body composition scan and it told me that my body fat percentage was about 25%, which is really high, even though my arms were not even 13 inches around, which is pretty small. So I knew I had to do something different from what I had been doing. I cut back, way back on alcohol. And I banned pizza and burritos and any other sort of junk, except for, maybe once a month as a treat. I increased the frequency that I went weightlifting from 2 or 3 times a week when I could fit it into my schedule to 3 or 4 times a week, ironclad commitment. And I went running every second morning before I ate anything, right out of bed. I would drink some branched-chain amino acids, which to my mind would prevent my body from burning muscle for fuel. I have no valid scientific reason to think that, it's just something I've read. But hey, it seemed to work. I had my first successful cut. My arms were still small, they definitely weren't bigger, but they had veins now. Of course, I didn't want to be skinny. I wanted to grow. But I was lucky enough to be able to hire a trainer who taught me how to lift. A lot of trainers aren't great at their jobs, so I was also lucky that he knew his stuff and was dedicated to his profession. I learned that my solo workouts before this didn't have the intensity, the volume, or the frequency needed to really build satisfying amounts of muscle. He had me doing shorter rests between sets, incorporating drop sets and supersets, learning what lifting to failure really means, getting in there 4 or even 5 times a week. But even more important than all of that, in my skinny fat days, I wasn't lifting with proper form, which meant I wasn't emphasizing the mind-muscle connection when I trained. Mind-muscle connection is when you focus on feeling the exercise work the muscle it's meant to be working. For example, If you train back, but you don't feel your lats contract with each rep, you haven't really been training your back. I honestly never really felt my lats until my trainer corrected my form on dumbbell row and lat pull down and so forth. Basically, I was lifting weights wrong. I wasn't using the muscle that I was meant to be exhausting. So once I learned how to do it right, the final piece fell into place. Now just keep it up for 3 years. With no significant breaks.
What?
No one said this was easy. What do you think this is, a game?
Oh, I died.